Branch executives, constituency executives, regional executives, national executives, and everybody here invited. We are winning the December 7th election. Ayawaso West Wagon will be declared NDC on the 7th of December 2024. I am the next member of parliament to Ayawaso. And President Mahama is coming back. Just like I contested in 2020, I have come back to contest. And I will win this seat for the end. Your Excellency, Ayawaso West Wagon is united more than ever. We have stopped fighting. The only people we are fighting now is the NPP. And we are vigilant. And I want to assure you that all those who vote for us, your vote will be protected. We are not going to court. We don't have time on the 7th or after 7th December to go to court. Our court is the polling station. Our judges will be at the polling station. Our lawyers will be at the polling station. Our vote will be protected and we shall count each ballot of the NDC. And so, be rest assured, we are winning this seat. Your Excellency, I did for you. Just like you did for me. Just like you did for the people of Ayawaso. Ayawaso West Wagon has become the economic hub of Accra. Security is important. We need to take security serious. Unemployment is high. Your Excellency, yesterday I was passing through Jolu and I saw one of the banks that had collapsed. And I saw corn and okra growing on the compound. That's not what we want. We will plead with you to bring back the licenses of these banks so that the employment will be given back to the people of Ayawaso. There are so many state institutions in Ayawaso West Wagon. Post, TOR, FDA, Standard Board, so many of them. Employment should be given to the people of Ayawaso West in this state institutions. Because for money. And because of that, we have to benefit from that. Again, Ayawaso West Wagon has become very dirty. It is dirty. But I will clean it up. I will make sure this place becomes clean. Ladies and gentlemen, we will win the election on the 7th of December and we shall move Ayawaso West Wagon. I can confidently say that when we declare the votes for Ayawaso West Wagon and John Bellows become winner, then we know that you too will become the president of this republic. We need to rescue the country. NPP has been powered here for over 24 years. It is bad. It is wrong. We need to move forward, and we need to move forward in the right direction. I am your son. Help me to become a member of parliament so that we move this constituency forward. Thank you so much, and God bless you.
John, step on the middle. John, can a Papa John? John, can a Papa John? Can a Mommy Jane? Son John, Father John, Mother Jane. Yes, with the 3 J. Choway. Ambassador Tamakulu, thank you so much for coming. And also the host assemblyman, Honorable Ishmael Asite Jani. Thank you, actually, Jani. God bless you so much. And also Honorable Kwasi Abaya, thank you so much. Ayazu, Ayaza, Ayazu. BRN, the Greater Accra Fair Regional Chairman. Chairman, Emmanuel, Ni Ashimo, Chairman Huro.
Eyezu, Eyezu, Eyezazuza, Emefa, NDC, Mimba Umane, Mimba Nedomane, Mimba Nedomane, Ebo, His Excellency Dr. Mahama, ke team neke bafe, okay, Umane Nedomane, Ebo. Yeah, when I can't get the game of full factor, or Magikal, or getting a minimum in Cheddar. So I tell you, a guy, if you like a love. It is not possible without 24 hours. And again, it is possible. It is not possible without John Mahama. A guy need to reset Ayawaso was a bar, okay, was small natural escape brass. One penny fine, near phone, was secure how a taba. Sleep if no okay. Come 4 to 100 on the railway, 1 4 to 100 on Mahama. You were 25 6, you were 2 a greater grand. Can you fit out here on the same? Well, I can leave them go. No maximum money over cash, then I can see 24-hour economy working now. Was more. What for the 60, 24 and women of black and 26. When you manage to see, must market many of the apart from much every literacy. Or fair what they see, what they want, what welcome. The incoming president, the man who has introduced the Ghana will go. His Excellency, come, the man is Mahama.
His Excellency, the incoming president, John Mahama. John, our savior, our last batch, John.
Our traditional rulers from Bawumia and the person. I want to thank you for hosting us this morning in your traditional area as I pay a courtesy visit to Ayawaso West Wogon. All residents, party supporters, executives, I want to thank you for the good work you're doing in supporting your MP to win this seat for the NDC. 5.5 years ago, a very terrible incident happened. At this time, this constituency was on fire. And we all remember exactly what it was. The MPP unleashed violence that has never been seen before in this country. people in Azuku masks descended on this constituency and opened fire and injured several of our activists. Up till today, some of them are disabled and unable to go to work. Just 2 weeks ago, we visited one of them at home. He was a footballer. Today, he can hardly play football. He cannot even walk properly to talk about playing football. And so, anytime we come to this particular constituency, it invokes memory of what happened 5.5 years ago. And it is my prayer and hope that this will never happen again in our country. In 2020, when we held the elections, 8 of our compatriots died. Not a word of sympathy, not an investigation to bring to justice the people who killed them, and not even one peso compensation for those people whose dear ones were killed. I want to assure the people of Ayawaso West Bawumia and our colleagues who died, the 8 innocent Ghanaians in the 2020 elections, that when NDC comes, we'll pursue justice for them, and then we'll also come. We'll also give them the appropriate compensation in order that they can put their lives back together. Our nation is in crisis, and we all know the crisis we're going through. Times have never been as hard in Ghana as they are today. Our people are sinking into poverty. A recent report says that 55% of Ghanaians are living in poverty. We've never had this high percentage of Ghanaians living in poverty before. And our assemblyman was quoting some statistics. He says almost 2 million young people, youth, are not in education, they are not in employment, they are not in training. At the age when you're a young person, you should either be employed, that is if you have finished school, you must be working. If you're not employed, you must still be in school, educating yourself. If you are not in education, you should be in training to earn a skill to be able to go into the world of work. 2 million young people are sitting idle at home, not doing any of these 3 things. This is a very dangerous statistic to witness. And so we're sitting on a time bomb in this country. When NDC was in power, and unemployment was 8.2%. Today unemployment is 14.7%. And aside from this, life is hard for everybody. For our women and other people who go to the markets. I mean, we have the highest food inflation, almost the highest food inflation in Africa. Prices are unbearable. You know, but the dangerous thing is, when you are ill, and you know what is wrong with you, it is halfway towards the cure. If you are ill and you know it's malaria, you are halfway towards curing yourself of malaria. If you are ill and you know it's typhoid, you are diagnosed, you know it's typhoid, you are halfway towards getting the cure. Unfortunately, the people who have caused this economic crisis do not even realize there's a crisis. Because when you hear them say they are the best government and that even improvement doesn't come, it shows that they don't even understand the situation in which Ghana is. Because if they understood the situation, we're still 5 months from an election. There are urgent measures that they can take to ameliorate the situation. You don't go saying, vote for me and when I come, I will do this. You can do it now. You say you rationalize taxes. 5 months from an election, you can rationalize this, enough time to rationalize taxes. All the promises you are making, you have enough time to start implementing them right now. And say, no, vote for me first, and then I'll come and do it. What they did in 2016, they can't do again. They say you can fool some of the people some of the time. You can fool all the people some of the time. But you can't fool all the people all the time. This time they cannot take resources are not going to work. If you have anything to do for Ghanaians, you have enough time to do it now. You have 5 months. If you can't do it in 5 months, there's no guarantee that you can do it even if we give you 4 years or 8 years. And the other time I took time off to debunk that useless thing about 4 years and 8 years. If you follow the logic of what he says, oh, he has only 4 years, I have 8 years, then it means no president should get a second term. Because it says, if you get a second term and you are going 4 years, you will be accountable to the people. So that we should check the constitution and say every president should do 1 term and go away. Because your second term, you will be accountable. You see there's no logic in what the person is saying. It means when we're saying 4 more for Nana, you knew that Nana was going to be unaccountable. And so just dismiss that and let's look forward. We have solutions for the problem and we have the experience to implement those solutions to rescue this country from the crisis. Where Ghana has reached, we need a steady, experienced hand to turn our fortunes around. If you have 2 buses and you have the driver's mate who has been an apprentice to a driver sitting in one of those buses, and you have an experienced driver who has driven you several times back and forth to your destination and back, which of those 2 buses will you sit in? And so the person himself says he's a driver's mate. He doesn't have a license yet. So he should work and get a license first. And then after he gets a license, he can come and enjoy. There are 2 important programs that I'll talk about here. And one is because of the high unemployment in this particular constituency. The first one is the apprenticeship program. Because if young people have finished school and they don't have a job yet, then they should be acquiring a skill so that they can go into the world of work. And that's why we're talking about the National Apprenticeship Program. For the young people who have finished JHS and SHS and have not advanced into tertiary education, they need to get a skill to go into the world of work. A skill is always important for any person. Because whether you continue to stay in your home constituency or you move to any part of the country or you even go outside the country, if you have a skill, your chance of getting a job is higher. There are many people who want to Japan. How if you are Japan with a skill? I think most of you have heard about Japan. If you are Japan with a skill. Because if you're Japan and you're a carpenter, you get a job to do. If you're in Japan and you're a mason, you get a job to do. If you're in Japan and you're a welder, you get a job to do. So acquire the skill so that you can get employment in your own country. And if it happens that you find yourself outside this country, that skill will help you to get a job. And that's why when we introduce the National Apprenticeship Program, I hope that all those who are not in education, not in employment, will take advantage of it and at least get training in a skill. And so whatever you want to do, we will make sure that the master craftsmen are paid to give you that training free of charge. And the next critical issue is the issue of small and medium enterprises, which are run particularly by our women. Our women are in trade, in commerce, and so on and so forth. And most of the time, some of what they need as capital for their businesses is as little as 1,000 Ghana cedis. And yet, they have no access to that credit. We had the Women's World Banking. And when this government decided to do the banking sector cleanup, they added this important bank into the sector cleanup and shut it down. So now there's no specialized institution giving credit to women in this country. And that's why we say when we come back into office, we're going to establish the National Women's Bank. And we focus on giving small credit to women in small and medium enterprises. Women are an important part of our economic prosperity. If you go into several sectors, it is the women who are driving progress in those sectors. And so if we put our money where our mouth is, with our mothers and our sisters and our wives, so that they are able to earn an income, it will improve the welfare of our children and our husbands and our brothers and uncles. And so it's one of the issues that we take up. The 24-hour economy, I've explained it so many times. It is only those who don't want to understand who don't understand. Otherwise, if you say, oh, but some people are doing it already, we want everybody to do it. And so the point is, some people are doing it already, but they are doing it voluntarily because the owners of the employment believe that they can optimize their profits by adding more shares. So they're doing it voluntarily. There's no policy. And I'm saying that NDC is coming to introduce a policy that will incentivize more people to add on additional shifts, to create more employment for young people. What is difficult to understand about this? And so let's work hard to gain victory for NDC. The point is, the best signal we can send to the world that Ghana is ready for a turnaround is to vote out the MPP.
Yes.
Then we'll be taken seriously that we want to do a turnaround. A vote for the MPP candidates in this 2024 election is a vote for a third term for Nana Akufo-Addo. Why they are desperate to break the 8 is to do a cover-up of the 8 years of atrocities that they have inflicted on Ghanaians. And so they need a pliant vice president to come and inherit them so that all the loot, all the corruption, all the stealing will be covered up. And it won't happen. The good people of Ghana will do that. And so when we come, we're going to hold them to account. I know that our chiefs have been complaining about their lands that have been appropriated. And I've said that when we come, we'll set up a commission of inquiry. And all the Kadambe traditional areas whose lands have been misappropriated will present petitions to the commission of inquiry. And the commission of inquiry will investigate the alienation of those state properties and those lands. And it will sanction those who have unjustly taken our lands, who will repossess some of those lands. And aside from that, it will give recommendations on how the Adangbe lands should be handled. And so a commission of inquiry will be set up. And when the time comes, you'll be encouraged to present your petitions to the commission in order that the investigations can take place and the appropriate restitution is made to you. In this constituency, you have many problems. I think the spokesman for the traditional authorities mentioned one of them, and that you have all the tertiary institutions in this country. You have UPSA, you have my former university, Legon, and Accra Technical University, and all the others. But there's no secondary school in the constituency, unfortunately. And so, like he said, when we come, we'll build a community-based school in this constituency. So that the young people who finish from basic education don't have to travel out and then come back again for tertiary education. You'll be able to attend your own secondary school here and then from there continue. This government has given up. They have no solutions to the issue of flooding in Accra. As for now, the least rainfall leads to flooding, even in areas that didn't used to flood before. There are many places where we never experienced floods. Today, when it rains, those areas get flooded. And so, I've said that we need an engineering solution to this problem. Apart from a human solution, which is to avoid littering and throwing things into the drains and so forth, we also need an engineering solution. And so NDC is going to commission the best hydro engineers to find out how how we can alleviate the flooding problem in Accra. The problem with flooding, for those of you who studied geography or hydrology, is if you look at Accra, to the north you have the Equatorial range of mountains, and a lot of streams come from that range when it rains in the Equatorial range. That's why sometimes in Accra it doesn't rain, but yet you see that water is coming. It's coming from the eastern region, from Equatorial and some of the rivers there. And that water is flowing towards the sea through the Sakumo stream, the Odo stream, and all the other streams that you see going to the sea. Now we've come to build a city between the mountain and the sea. And so when the water is coming, it encounters the city. And you will not let the drains open. People are building on those drains and impeding the flow of the water. And once we impede the flow of water, it will back up and it will flood. And so we need to find an engineering solution to this problem, otherwise it will continue forever and ever. And so NDC will come and look at that and resolve this. And then finally, we all want to rescue our country from the clutches of this rapacious MPP administration. And before we can do that, we must win an election. We all know what happens during elections, especially in this your constituency. There are times when I believe you could have won the election, but because you let your guard down, you lost it. It is not going to happen again. All we are asking from you is vigilance. We shall send you the resources. We're going to launch the campaign soon. And once we launch the campaign, there is no rest for any of you. We're going to go from house to house continuously from now till December 7th to all the markets, to all the shopping centers. We're going to go and we're going to campaign so that John Dumelo gets elected as a member of Parliament. And so we'll send you the resources to prosecute that campaign. As soon as the campaign is launched, we're going to send you what you need, including money. So I don't want any excuse that we didn't have money to fuel our vehicle or we didn't have money to do this. We're in opposition, we don't have money, but the little we have we'll share amongst all the constituencies so that you can campaign. Send the message to every corner. You have the leaflets, you have all that it takes to be able to do the campaign, and you must go and give out the leaflets and give the NDC message out. But aside from the campaign, you can campaign as best as you want. You can have the best message, you can have the best candidate. On the D-Day, if you are not vigilant, you will lose the election. You have a good candidate, we're going to send you the resources. Your message is good. All that we require from you now is vigilance. And so please, the party has asked for people who want to volunteer to be trained as party agents. Kindly make sure that you send your best people. What I said was that preferably, if we can find them, we want people with a tertiary education. I didn't say we are recruiting only people with a tertiary education. I said preferably we want people with a tertiary education. But there are people who probably are in SHS who are bright and can be trained to be electoral agents. I haven't said we should refuse them. What I'm saying is that the election today is more complicated than it was in the past. In the past, we needed people to sit there to prevent imposters. Now the issue of imposters is resolved by the biometric verification machine. But you must have somebody who can understand that the number on the biometric verification machine must be the same as the number of ballots in the box. And when you're filling the pink sheets, you must see it's like algebra. C5 plus A4 plus 3 must be equal to this. If you don't have the know-how, there's no way you're going to understand when those figures are put on the pink sheet. And that's what I'm saying, preferably we can find people with a tertiary education, or people who don't have a tertiary education but have the cognitive stance to be able to decipher the pink sheets and be able to train as proper polling agents. Let's find those people. And so all of you who are accountants, all of you who are architects, all of you who are professionals, let us know the polling station where you vote. So that on that day, you're not just going to vote and go away. You will vote and sit there on behalf of NDC and make sure that the right thing is done. Because I believe that if this election is transparent and fair, I have no doubt in my mind that NDC will win it. And so finally, you have John Dumedo. He is known across the length and breadth of this country. Everybody knows the kind of person he is. He's not only good in the career that he has chosen for himself, but he does a lot of other things. Even without being the MP, if you see some of the things that he's done in this constituency, it is commendable. He's a farmer, and he's my fellow farmer. And I know that he cares about the young people of this constituency. And so I present him to you, I put him in your hands. It is you who can make him the member of parliament. And I know that with his white plate, even not being a member of parliament, if you add the mantle of parliamentary leadership to him, he will make sure that this constituency becomes a model constituency for the rest of the country.